Can a man rise from the shadows of a 12-year prison sentence to reclaim his crown in the UK rap scene? Enter Asco, the sharp-tongued lyricist whose raw, unfiltered bars once echoed through London's underground. Once hailed as the next Fredo, his ascent was unstoppable, until a haunting past brought it all crashing down. The streets want to know, where did he vanish to? And now that he's free, what moves is he making? In this gripping documentary, we peel back the layers of Asco's story, a gritty tale of talent, downfall, and the relentless fight for redemption. The truth hits hard, and it's all here. In the shadow of Hackney's tower blocks, where the air hums with the bass of drill beats and the streets pulse with a restless energy, Asfer Allen, known to the world as Asco, forged a path from the margins to the spotlight. His story is a raw, unfiltered odyssey, a collision of ambition, betrayal, and redemption, set against the gritty backdrop of East London's roads and the intoxicating allure of the grime scene. It's a tale of a man who danced with the devil, lost everything, and clawed his way back, proving that the fire of the grind can burn brighter than any fall. Asco grew up in the heart of Hackney's E8, where the streets were a classroom of hustle and survival. The aroma of street food stalls mingled with the tension of late-night deals, and young Asfer, surrounded by siblings, watched older kids flash designer trainers and thick wads of cash. "I'm a product of my environment," he'd later say, his voice heavy with the truth of a world that shaped him. By his teens, he was drawn to the quick money of the roads, but music was his escape, a spark of ambition that promised a way out. In smoky bedrooms turned studios, he honed his craft, dreaming of a stage bigger than the estates. In the early 2010s, Asco found his voice in grime, a genre born from London's council estates, where raw lyricism and pounding beats gave a megaphone to the disenfranchised. He joined Mashtown, a collective rooted in Hackney's streets, where names like Margs and Hypo were already making noise. Asco's early freestyles, spit in dim studios with peeling paint and crackling mics, caught attention for their icy delivery and unflinching honesty. By 2016, his track Straight Drop 1 hit SoundCloud like a Molotov cocktail. Its tales of road life, hustling, betrayal, survival, resonated with fans who saw their own struggles mirrored in his bars. The video, shot on Hackney's estates, showed Asco in Louis Vuitton, his monotone flow slicing through the beat. Viewers on Link Up TV and GRM Daily flooded the comments with lines like, "This is real talk and Mulli's different." Asco was no longer just a kid from the ends, he was a voice. By 2018, the music industry took notice. Warner Brothers, one of the world's biggest labels, saw gold in Asco's raw talent and growing fan base. In a sleek London office, executives in tailored suits slid a contract across the table, a deal potentially worth £1 million. Asco signed, his heart racing with the promise of stardom. The money started flowing, and so did the drip. Between July and December 2018, he dropped £19,500 on jewellery, diamond chains that gleamed under club lights, watches that screamed success. His home overflowed with designer gear, Gucci trainers, Balenciaga hoodies, and Versace tees. But the shine hid a darker truth. Asco was still tethered to the roads, running the Bobby Line, a county lines operation moving heavy weight from London to Colchester and Cambridge. The cash was staggering, £1,500 a day at its peak, but every deal was a tightrope walk over a chasm. I'll delve deeper into the Bobby Line later. What made Asco stand out was his overall style and the way everything flowed, from his image to his music. Back in 2018, high-end designer fashion was at its peak, and Asco was always decked out in the latest gear from head to toe. That consistent luxury aesthetic really resonated with fans and peers alike. Another key factor that set Asco apart was his music videos. He collaborated with TV Toxic, who was, and still is, known for producing some of the best UK rap visuals to date. Toxic had a real talent for capturing the essence of UK street luxury and bringing it to life on screen. These elements combined to give Asco a distinctive edge in the UK rap game. As Asco was beginning to establish himself as a solid figure within the UK rap scene, 2018 brought a moment that would test his resilience. Picture him at a rooftop party, the infinite skyline glittering in the background, grey Goose flowing like water. The music thumped, bodies swayed, and Asco, draped in £50,000 worth of jewellery, felt untouchable. But in a discombobulated haze, it all vanished. His chain and watch were suddenly gone. Was it theft or a careless mistake? Social media lit up with speculation. Some said it was the people he was with, others whispered it was an insurance job. Asco took to Instagram, defiant yet nonchalant, and wrote, "Lost 50k in jewels, still lit." He spent days chasing leads, dropping thousands on cabs around his holiday destinations, scouring police stations to see if anyone had handed in his chains. No one had. The loss was a gut punch, but Asco's response was pure defiance. Within weeks, he was back in London, rocking a new set of jewels that outshone the last. Diamonds dancing like they were auditioning for the stage. It was a message to the streets and the haters. Asco doesn't fold. He later rapped about it on Straight Drop X3, where he dropped the now infamous line, 50 quid in jewels down the drain. Have a buggin'. Then I was like, F it. Dropped a quick 50 on my wrist with no budget. This is why Asco's rise felt so organic. People saw him go through real experiences, then turn around and rap about them in his music. Now, back to the Bobby line I mentioned earlier. By now we should know, the streets give and the streets take. In 2019, the law came crashing down. In a pre-dawn raid, police stormed Asco's home, tearing through closets, seizing designer clothes, shoes, and £12,000 in cash from his girlfriend's place. The camera would linger on the chaos, officers ripping through his life, collateral damage in his double existence. At Wood Green Crown Court, the prosecutor laid it bare that Asco was the mastermind of the Bobby line, orchestrating deals even as his music career soared. The evidence was damning. Phone records, cash seizures, witness statements. The judge's voice was heavy with judgment. You are a man with a talent for music, who was beginning to make a break from criminality. It may well be your career has ended before you had a chance to see how far it would take you. 12.5 years were handed down to Asco as the gavel fell like a guillotine. His Warner Brothers dreams flickered out. The streets that once cheered him now whispered of his downfall, while his music faded from playlists. Prison was a crucible, a place where time stretched and souls were tested. Inside HMP's grey walls, Asco faced the weight of his choices. The clang of cell doors, the murmur of inmates, the scratch of pencil on paper became his world. He wrote relentlessly, pouring his pain into lyrics that spoke of loss, faith, and the roads that shaped him. His Islamic beliefs anchored him, a quiet strength amid the chaos. In a poignant act, he designed a t-shirt honoring lifers still behind bars, their names scrawled in bold, a reminder that his 6 years were light compared to their forever. His cellmate, a young rapper with dreams of his own, pushed Asco to keep creating. "Your story ain't done, Mulli," he'd say, passing him a beat-up notebook. But guilt gnawed at Asco, his family caught in the crossfire of his choices. He vowed to make it right. Hope came in 2024, when whispers of a government early release scheme reached the cells. Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood's plan to ease prison overcrowding offered a lifeline, cutting sentences like Asco's from 50% to 40%. On October 22nd, he walked free, stepping into a world that had moved on without him. The camera would capture the moment. Asco, in a crisp tracksuit, climbing into a convoy of black Rolls-Royces, their personalized plates spelling Mulli. His homecoming party was a spectacle. Moet and Chandon bottles lined marble tables, champagne corks popped, and Asco, draped in a diamond-encrusted watch and head-to-toe designer, spit bars for Straight Drop 5. The music video, dropped on GRM Daily, was a statement of survival. Fans went wild. BBC Radio 1's Tiffany Calver posted praying hands emojis, and YouTuber Walks called it a Wordsworth hit. The track's visuals, flashes of prison cells and Asco rapping in front of a £430,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom, told a story of defiance and rebirth. But freedom wasn't all glitz. Allegedly, the streets don't forgive easily. Rivals tried to spread rumours about Asco, and he had to address it in his latest release from prison. In Straight Drop 5, Asco tackled the hate head-on. Backstabbers and rumours, I rise above it all. Stack money, stay 10 toes down. The video's imagery, Asco smoking and delivering bars in a designer mansion, drove home his unbreakable spirit. Asco's comeback was a masterclass in resilience. He sat with new label executives, this time with a seasoned lawyer, ensuring the deal was ironclad. No more rookie mistakes. Asco's story is a mirror to the world he came from, a world where ambition and danger walk hand in hand. The streets gave him everything: money, status, inspiration. But they also took his freedom, his peace, his chance at early stardom. His faith, his music, and his refusal to fold kept him standing. As he prepares Better Late Than Never, Asco stands as a beacon for Hackney's youth, proof that the grind can outshine the darkest falls. In the game of life, where the stage and the roads are never far apart, Asco's fire burns eternal. The legend continues.